Hello and Assalamu alaikum. So I'd like to explain you about what we have made for our artificial intelligence project. We have made an auto number plate recognition system in which the cars that move on roads, simply we are going to detect the number plate that's inside of it. And we have done it in two components. And in these two components, how we have done it, it is like that we simply did it with the help of OCR in the first component, and we simply took a band of 4 to 5 images, and uh, we simply detected the number plates out of it and what the number plate really had to tell about us. And the other thing at the other component that we used is that we simply used YOLO V8, and we trained a dataset which we took from a site named RoboFlow of around 350 car images in which they had number plates attached to themselves, and we simply took that dataset with a YOLO V8 sensor, and we simply trained that YOLO V5 dataset which we took from RoboFlow. And in the first phase of our project, we simply made the way in which we can take a dataset and we can extract the number plate out of it, and then simply slowly and gradually we evolved with the help of YOLO, and we trained a certain amount of dataset which we can simply which we did simply in the first phase, but we trained that dataset through YOLO V8, and we simply extracted its number plate. So here we are. First, I would like to show you the easier implementation that we did. And the easier implementation, how we did it, we simply used some libraries such as iMutals, PyTesseract, and EasyOCR. PyTesseract and EasyOCR, as you know, are libraries which are used to extract data, and they are more for data scraping. And we use these libraries for data extraction. As a project suggests that we are going for auto number plate recognition system, so we are extracting that number plate through the help of a library which extracts text and which is used for extracting. PyTesseract is a simpler library when it comes to EasyOCR, because EasyOCR uses Torch and it's an updated version of PyTesseract. So we simply use these data extraction libraries. And as we had matplotlib as well, matplotlib is simply used to extract data from certain coordinates. Like in a car image, we can see that all of its parts doesn't have a number plate. It's that certain part that has a number plate, and we have to detect that part. And you can see that we have taken 4 to 5 images for this first implementation. Like you can simply see, I can go with an image 1. Oops, sorry, we have an error here, but we can go with that image 2 which has this, but we can go with that image 3 which has a simple another data. Image 4 has more amount of data here, so we can use image 2 because that's more suitable. So as you can see, the number plate suggests COVID-19. So here what we have done is we have used grayscaling, through which we have simply transitioned that car picture into a picture which simply uses grayscaling and simply extracts and converts the image into gray filters to simply avoid any sort of noise reduction. And grayscaling is here done. So when we grayscale that image of COVID-19, we can see, for a perspective of this system, grayscaling is a thing that really helps the system to detect the image. Now we're gonna run this, and now as you can see, the coordinates might be loaded because the contour helps to extract all the coordinates where that number plate does exist. Now you can see the location of those coordinates might change. This is for the previous car that we had, like you can see there. Now what we are gonna do, we are gonna extract the coordinates which show the number plate along with a black background. Like we're gonna simply avoid what was there at the back, like whole of the car. We're gonna just have that number plate, like you can see it there. And again, we have done grayscaling here with the help of matplotlib, through which the coordinates are carefully extracted to get through to that face. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna clear out that black background. We're gonna get a cropped image through the course coordinates with the contours. And you can see we can get COVID-19 here. And slowly and gradually when we get through to the result with the help of easy OCR, what we are gonna get so as you can see we have got this COVID-19 number plated. So one thing's a little common as for the one that we had, that was a little towards the fancy side, so our implementation suggests that it was something like T, and the thing written here was SA. It was also extracted as T. So see, these are minor problems that can be solved. And here we go. Now when we ask for the result that we had to get, boom, there's the result. We get a number plate written COVID-19, and here it is COVID-19. So now I'd like to inform you about the detailed explanation with YOLO V8. So in this here we simply cloned a repository from YOLO which had an implementation of YOLO V8, and slowly and gradually we installed the folders which were required, and then the requirements like pip install -e, which had us taking all the requirements that were necessary with CUDA to basically run these extraction phenomena. And then we install that detect folder, and then this is the main part, the RoboFlow detection. We simply took some data types, some data from the site RoboFlow, which can help us, to which we can train, and then that data will be simply used for data extraction. Like we used YOLO V8 for our project, but we took data of YOLO V5 because it's simply integratable and simply acceptable with YOLO V8. So here we are. And gradually we downloaded all the things that were needed, and we downgraded our Torch version because Torch 2.5 is more compatible when it comes to using YOLO on a system, or for training models which comes with YOLO. So here what we did, we simply trained our models which we got from RoboFlow's link, and this training was a long process. Like it suggests it was a long process. Like you can see a 120 amount of data sets are being trained here, and this took around 20 minutes to get trained. And then we got the folders which we had along with train, and then we printed our confusion matrix of how it had to happen, and it had all of the coordinates happening here as well. And then we got all the graphs for us, the results that were required, and then slowly and gradually we downloaded a Google Drive in which all the pictures and all the dataset that we had to implement for YOLO V8, it had it all stored. And slowly and gradually we went here. Here we simply, what we did is we ran a validation script using the YML file. When we did that validation script, it went and gave us these answers, like all the amount of images and the instances that we really had in it, and how much time for the processing of images it took, the speed it had. And now the main thing what we did here was we installed easy OCR, and as easy OCR progressed, then we again installed the dataset to basically downgrade that dataset into our folders. And then what we did was we ran that folder predict.py, in which we wrote our directory, we wrote our path to where the video really did exist. And slowly and gradually, when that predict.py folder excelled, it simply took with all of the data that was already present. That predict.py folder had a coding happening here, like if I can show you that. But the predict.py folder had all of the coding happening, and we simply inserted the files where our datasets were stored, like this demo point mp4 video was stored. And then slowly and gradually what we did was we compressed our dataset and we compressed the videos that we had, and this demo point mp4 video was compressed to our liking. And now as you can see, as this video is running, the number plate is basically the license number is being detected out of the number plate. One thing that we can update in this is that we can extract the number plate out of it, but we did that for only the simpler type, and here we can detect the license plate numbers. So thank you very much. That's all about our artificial intelligence project of automatic number plate extraction, or you can say recognition system. Thank you so much.